All right, here we go. We're back in the kitchen. The neighbor left, so I'm okay if I make a little bit more noise now. I'm trying to remove some of this linoleum floor. I'm using this scraper that I started with to peel back the corner, and that's how we found out that the hardwood floors do not continue into the kitchen. So I've got a couple tools here I grabbed, and we're going to see what works best here. All right. Okay, here we're just using this floor scraper, and you got to kind of like dig the corner in and chop up a little piece. That's not coming out how I want it to. It's taking way too much effort, so we're going to try a couple different methods here. Alright, so a couple of things we're going to try. I got my hammer. I got this small pry bar that we bought for the floor trim, the baseboards, and the tack strips. I got a trowel here. This is pretty rigid, so I figure maybe that might work. And I got a pretty rigid 2.5 inch drywall knife, putty knife, scraper. I'm gonna try these, see how that works. And if I don't like how this works, then we'll go to the power tools. It's hard to work when you're getting mauled to death by wild animals. Yeah. Alright, well these are working better than the floors. Works better than the floor scraper, but I think it's going to take forever. I don't know if I can finish before Coco eats me. Oh, excuse you. Again, that's better than the floor scraper, but it's still taking forever. Let's try my Dremel oscillating tool. I have a rigid scraper blade on the bottom. The blade was $10. It's 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So let's see how this works. Alright, well that works pretty fast. But I'm gouging up the subfloor, and the blade's only going in a little bit because it's only so long. You can use that in combination with your putty knives. And then get it started with the Dremel, then use your pry bar. Well, let's break out the big guns. I have the spider blade on it, the spider scraper. They're about $10 a piece, or buy 3 different sizes for 20 bucks. So, see how this works. Not good. Go with a smaller blade. Alright, we'll switch it to the smaller blade. Now, this is wild. This is too wild. Catches on the floor and kicks back at you. That could be dangerous. I don't think there's really an easy solution to this. I think maybe that's the best solution. Pry up the corners and then use pry bar or a putty knife to get the rest of it. Now that I got that up, how about yeah, see, the scraper just cuts it off. Alright. Alright, I'm going to spare you the painful video of watching me try to pull this whole floor up. Basically, trying the floor scraper, if pieces were loose, I was able to prop those up and pull those off, but the long floor scraper was not good when the adhesive was really sticking to the linoleum. So it would just rip it and tear it off, and then I'd have the fresh edge stuck down. So the only effective way to remove this with the tools that I had was to take the Dremel tool, the scraper blade, and get it underneath and pry it up. And I could pry it up about an inch, inch and a half, maybe 2 inches tops, and then I have to come back and use the putty knife. I eventually went with the floor scraper to save my back a little bit. But pry up the front edge and then cut it off with the scraper and go at it again. So I was scoring from one side to the other
taking off a couple inches at a time just over the length of the floor. So I really still was not happy with the progress I was making. I figured I'd try the Sawzall again with the scraper blade, and that was not working. It would just catch the front end and cut it off. It wouldn't even get underneath it. It would hit the subfloor, and the blade would hit the floor, and the tool would kick back at me. So that's not safe, and it's just going to damage the floor and tear up my wrist with that kicking back at me. Yeah, so this was the only effective way I was able to get this up, and it really, I don't know if you can call it effective or not, but take the Dremel with the scraper blade and lift it up an inch, and then come back with the long floor scraper and cut it off so I can get that scraper blade under there farther. I couldn't find any longer scraper blades, so I had to just do this. This was all elbow grease, I guess. So while I'm all, tearing up the floor, I gotta watch out for Coconut there. She likes to chew on linoleum, and later on she'll likes to chew on plaster walls and the drywall. So really gotta watch her. That's one thing about doing a clean demo. I gotta make sure my dog's not eating, the house that I'm tearing apart. Told you I could have named her Jaws.
Alright, that's been 13 minutes so far, and I got that much up. This is going to take probably 3 hours or more. And my knees are going to be sore, my back's going to be sore. I can't think of a better, cleaner way other than going to rent a floor scraper. You got a machine with like a little blade on the front. Will pop all this up. And I don't know if it'll work on this, and I don't know how close the rental store is. So I'm just gonna keep doing this.